welcome back to the Panophobia Podcast. It's me, Stacy, and I'm in this studio with my friend Mykel. Say hi.
Hi.
Hopefully you guys can hear him because I'm hogging the mic over here. So, it's been a minute since I've recorded. Lots of, things have been going on. Please don't be inappropriate to my microphone. What did it do to you? Anyways, I'm sure you guys can't see that, but you probably heard something's going on. Anyway, so yeah, life happens. People get busy. Lots of changes. So speaking of changes, I know that that's a very, very common fear that a lot of people have. It's referred to as metathesiophobia, something like that. Anyways, so, when people go through changes, whether you move, change relationships, or just, any kind of typical change, even changes at work and things like that, it can cause anxiety, and people develop that fear from that. I know I did a podcast with Mykel previously, actually a few times, and they never quite made it to Mixcloud or SoundCloud or anything. We had either technical difficulties or, something along those lines. But I had talked to Mykel about one of his fears, and I actually found out that another good friend of mine has this very same fear, and that is thalassophobia, which is the fear of the sea or open water. And Mykel, tell me, why is it that is such a fear for you? Water. Is it because you can't see the bottom? Is it deep water in general?
The deep water doesn't really bother me at all. It's just the fact that it's so vast and it basically never ends. And then on top of it,
there's creatures in it.
Yeah, and they don't know what's down there. It's like only 8% of the world's oceans have been explored, so they don't know what's under the water. And
yeah,
I
totally understand that.
And you don't know what's around you, and every little splash of water is a great white coming to eat me.
That's a whole different fear too, of sharks and whatnot. You have a fear of crocodiles too. They're very, very powerful creatures.
Yeah.
You know a lot about them in the sense of their bite and things like that. What do you know?
Well, I know that they're apex predator. They've virtually been unchanged for millions of years with a bite force of 25,000 newtons and stomach acid strong.
Oh, that's disgusting. That is very terrifying. I admit, yes.
It's like a car truck being slammed on your chest if they bit you in the chest. It's like
ouch.
The strongest bite force of any animal on the planet. And
that's very terrifying.
Yeah, it is. It's very terrifying. It's extremely terrifying.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'd rather wrestle a grizzly bear than I'll watch crocodiles from TV.
Right. That's in the safety of our own couch. Yeah. So that particular phobia is called ophidiophobia. It also affects people that have a fear of snakes. So any kinds of reptile or amphibians. I know personally when we were just talking about thalassophobia and the fear of what's in the water, I know that the unknown. I have a fear of the unknown. It's just, it also, I guess, coincides with, aliens. Yep, I'm afraid of aliens. And it's not even just that I fear them necessarily. I just strongly feel that they do exist, and abduction terrifies me. So, if you've ever seen the Mila Jovovich movie of, what I think it's The Fourth Kind, that movie terrified me so much. Alien abduction is very terrifying to me.
Fire in the Sky.
Yeah, I saw that as well. That's really terrifying. Anything that's based on true events. I will never go to Alaska, ever. Just no, you can't pay me to it. No, thank you. I'll stay in Michigan. I'll have what is it? Frigophobia, the fear of cold forever in Michigan. It's April and it snowed yesterday in the Metro Detroit area. Thanks, Mother Nature. Thank you so much for that. It's supposed to be spring. It's been spring for like a month or so, or a few weeks, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's supposed to be spring. So I hate freezing my ass off. So we were talking about change and the fear of change and moving and stuff. Well, I'm currently between houses, and one of those houses has had a lot of paranormal activity. Now, I know there are so many people that are skeptics, and there's so many technological ways that you can debunk certain things. So I have security surveillance installed in my house. And let's just say I've gone through 2 sets of camera systems, because the first set I thought was wonky and was having errors and picking up too much stuff, or maybe it was a sensitivity. Either way, I replaced them, put in a new set, and this set has had even more activity. If anyone's ever interested in seeing those, I'll be happy to post them. I've had a lot of people review them and give me some feedback, and I have some paranormal investigators wanting to investigate my house, which is kind of exciting. I've always wanted to be a ghost hunter, I guess, if you could say. Speaking of ghosts, I know, I think it was either episode 2 or 3, I had a very good friend of mine, Liz, who was also a former coworker. We were talking about phasmophobia, which is the fear of ghosts, and that's a very exciting episode. If you get a chance, please check that out. So I'm hanging out with Mykel in his studio, and he has a wonderful dog, Kai, German Shepherd, and I recently got a puppy a few months ago, and he's been the most amazing thing to happen in my life. I never knew that I could ever have a dog, because I had a fear of dogs pretty much the majority of my life. As a child, I think I was probably 6 years old when I was first attacked by a dog, and I was bit in the face, and I had one of their teeth was lodged in between my eyes and bit right under my jaw, and that was pretty terrifying, to be bit in the face by a dog when you're 6. Mind you, being 6, and I was very tiny, of course, and it just knocked me down, bit right into me, and I was like, oh my god, that was the most terrifying thing ever. But anyway, I moved past it, and I started going to shelters and volunteering, and I overcame my fear of dogs, and I've had my puppy for about 4 months now, so he's just over 6 months old. His name is Dunsmore, and he is a pit bull mix, and he's awesome. So I had I guess it's a cynophobia, which is the fear of dogs, but I'm just saying I can overcome this fear, so can you. How old is Kai, Mykel? 10. He's 10. He's amazing. He's the coolest dog. He's so chill, so laid back. He's just a big fluffy fur ball.
Yeah. Had him since he was 8 weeks.
Aww, so cute. Love doggies.
Furry little buddy.
Yeah, that's good. Good stuff. So we wanted to throw together this podcast. It's kind of on a whim, just trying to get back in the studio and get some things moving along here. We are actually about to wrap this up and head to Bacon Bash. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's one of Metro Detroit's festivals. We get to eat a bunch of bacon from various vendors and sample some beers, some mixed drinks, have some entertainment. Yes, I took a sip of what shot was that? Hannah Banana? Yeah, I cannot hold my alcohol at all. Yeah, I know. I get it. It's hilarious. Very funny. Thank you.
So Dunsmore was the most amazing thing to happen to you in your life?
No, not most amazing thing.
That's
Just
what you said, though.
did I really? Most amazing thing?
Yeah, don't tell Kate.
Oh, I guess I shouldn't tell my kid that, huh? That's probably terrible. You know what? She might agree, though. She really loves that dog, too. It's true. What? What's not to love? He hugs you. He's adorbs. He is. He's pretty cool. Anyway, just saying. So, yeah. Back in the studio. Things happening. Saying hey. I'm going to be a guest on a podcast for my friends' Critical Thinking podcast. They are out in Austin, Texas. If I'm wrong, I am going to shoot myself in the leg here. But my good friend Sean over there gave me a shout out recently, and I'm hoping to be on their podcast probably in the next month or so. They are super busy doing all kinds of things, but wanted to give him a shout out as well. So repping this up. I know I've said that like 5 times, but if you're on Twitter, follow on Twitter. It's capital MI_Panophobia. If you're on the Instagram, I don't know why I said that with a twang. Must be the Texas thing. It's Panophobia Podcast on Instagram and also on Facebook as well. So check it out. All right. I think that's about it. That's a wrap. Say peace out, peoples.
Later.
Peace out, Panophobia Podcast, peeps.
Panophobiacs.
Panophobiacs. Yes! I love it. Let's do that. All right, you guys have a name, an official name. Panophobiacs. Ooh, that's good. Sounds good.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks. I'll borrow it. Thank you.